Hello there, and welcome to Theme Park Workshop. My name is Bella Harvey, and today I have Kelly Hoffman.
Dinosaurs eat man, woman inherits the earth. Hi, everyone.
Period. And we also have Adam Johnson.
So excited to be on this trans-dimensional joyride with you, lovely ladies.
Woo! And today we are going to bid our farewells, pay tribute to Dinoland, but most specifically Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama. Long live all the magic we made. I had the time of my life fighting dragons with you. But anyway, this episode is brought to you, as always, by our patrons Landon Kanoki, Jonathan Edward, Jordan Buster, Greg Harvey, Joshua Gonzalez, and Rachel Sprague, and then Dwayne and Teresa Dyker. Woo! And you can join our Patreon over at patreon.com/theme park workshop to support the show, get some bonus episodes, some updates, a whole bunch of other stuff. So, yeah, Dinoland. How y'all feeling?
I am not feeling good. I was just talking with someone recently, who said that they don't like Dinoland, and Good Riddance, and that they think it was old and the vibes were bad. And I always thought the vibes were a good time. I thought the music loop was fun. I thought that, I like the bright, colorful vibes. I like the big giant dinosaur statue that would be smiling at me as I'm walking past, sprinting to get to Everest. I have a lot of memories of Dinoland that I'll talk about a little later, but I'm depressed. It's not really gonna fully sink in, I don't think, until Dinosaur closes, but the vibes are bad.
In general, I was kind of like a late appreciator of Dinoland USA as a whole. Of course, when I did Dinosaur the first time, like that might be a top 10 for me for Walt Disney World, which in the past couple of months seems to be a hot take, but nevertheless, love that. And then Dino-Rama kind of looked at him like, oh, you're here. But then lately I've come to appreciate it. As you can see, Smilodon says, have a great day. Love that. Found that in the last couple of weeks and stuff. And I'm kind of like, I like what was. I really do like what was. And the story that it told. And we'll talk more about that later. But I'm also of the opinion of like, this might be kind of like a net positive with Tropical America. It's kind of the way like it's a bummer we no longer have Jaws the ride at Universal Studios Florida, but you can't say Diagon Alley and Escape from Gringotts were like a downgrade, like a significant downgrade, because we've had replacements that are downgrades. That wasn't one, and I really don't think 2027 is going to be a downgrade. I think we're going to enjoy it quite a bit. I think it'll feel at home. So that's kind of like the mixed opinions because, like, oh, what was there was good if you really looked into it and appreciated it, but Tropical Americas will probably be um, more readily accessible and enjoyable for most guests today.
I this is gonna sound stupid, but I'm gonna be really sad when Restaurantosaurus goes. Either at the end of the year, we're getting a 26 because I love restaurants. It's so fun. And like you said, Kelly, like the loop music was so fun. I used to always love. Well, anytime I've ever been in there, All Star would start playing the second I walked underneath like the bridge, and I just thought it was perfect. And then I'd always run through there during Carnival, RIP. You're a real one. If you know what Carnival is. Oh, I need to talk about Carnival one day. Oh, the best thing ever. I Animal Kingdom, RIP. I'd always run back there to Restaurantosaurus. My best friend and I, we get fries and we get a drink and we walk around. We'd sit at Restaurantosaurus and we run back to Carnival and we go back and ride Dinosaur and we walk around and we leave. So it's definitely going to be a weird change not having that there. I'm excited for the Tropical Americas, but I still don't understand the pairing of Indiana Jones and Encanto. I'll never get it. I will never understand it, but I'm open a little bit. Just a possibility. I just don't want them to lose. I'm chaining myself to the dinosaur, as I'm sure a lot of us will be. They can't take us all down. So meet up.
But since we are going to miss, Dinoland when it does go, and we're missing it now, uh, it should be noted we just experienced a big loss not too long ago by the time this episode comes out, and that was the Dino-Rama portion of the program of Dinoland. Dino-Rama was like almost like a state fair background or backyard fair kind of setup. It looked very of that. It was called Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama. Closed the 13th of January, Monday the 13th, and we thought Fridays were unlucky. Not if you're two old folks trying to get those tourists. And that was essentially the story of Dino-Rama. There's this gas station out on the interstate in Diggs County, Florida, and Chester and Hester and the family, they were there already, and then the Dino Institute opened right next door in Diggs County, and people were coming for dinosaurs. You got the college, the institute, all of that over there, and people come for that. Like, what we can do? We own this land. Let's build it out. And so we got attractions by Chester and Hester, like Primeval Whirl, which was basically the plot of Dinosaur, but as a spinning wild mouse coaster. The Triceratop spin, which was uh, a spinner like Dumbo, but with Triceratops. The Fossil Fun games, those carnival games, Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures, which was like that original gas station, but now it's a decked out gift shop. And everything. And they're just, it's kind of like with Disneyland in the 50s, where they did not own all that land, and then they opened up in 55, and then everyone started to like get all touristy and stuff on them. Maybe that was part of the storyline, the reason of storyline, I don't know. But that was essentially the idea of Dino-Rama, is it's fair rides by the Dino Institute, because this, tourist-minded interstate couples like, hey, this is a great thing for our wallets and for our community. What was y'all's thoughts on Dino-Rama when y'all went through? I'm curious.
I have a lot of fond memories, some from when I was younger, some from when I was older. Some not so fond memories include being terrified of dinosaur, but that's not going away yet. So that's just a bonus for you. But now it is one of my favorite rides, so the joke is on me. But as far as like the Dino-Rama area, I loved Primeval Whirl. It was a mess of a ride, but I thought it was so much fun. I remember my dad, patron and friend of the podcast. I say friend, he's also my dad. But I'm so used to saying patron and friend because we're like friends with patron and dad. But he took me, my sister, and a family friend of ours on the ride, and I don't think we all knew really what to expect from it. And the ride photo is in a scrapbook somewhere, and it's pretty iconic of all of us just screaming our heads off. I'm pretty sure my dad almost lost a hat. Like it was like we were expecting like a kiddie ride, and it was just such a blast from the past, if you will. But I just have a lot of memories of like laughing on that one and like taking new people on it and terrifying them. Um, the ride itself, like all the little paintings and the sound effects and stuff were just so much fun. I thought the concept was cool. It is literally pretty much the concept of dinosaur, but more cartoony and crazy. Maybe not more crazy actually than going in the past and stealing an iguanodon, but more fun. Not literally. I don't know. More cartoony, like more silly. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's Primeval Whirl. Triceratops Sin, I didn't go on a ton, but I do have a really great memory of the first time I found out that my sister-in-law was pregnant with her second kid. She told me right in front of um she told me in front of the Tree of Life, but then we went to Dinoland after, and I got to ride Triceratops spin with my little niece and my husband, and like it was just like really nice to be like, wow, and you're gonna have another sibling soon, and I'm gonna be able to take them on this. And now if they have more, we won't be able to take them on that. But it was just like really cool. That's what I think of when I see that, is like being with my little niece, who that was like 4 years ago. So, she's bigger now, and she still enjoyed that ride at this point. So it's just really cool to be able to like think about those kind of things. I love the big dinosaur statue that I mentioned earlier. He's got some lights on his stomach that we would always just point to because they looked precarious. And I thought it was funny. Um, I also was a little bit sad the other day when I was getting off of Dinosaur because this was the day that Dino-Rama was closing. I was there, and you don't exit through the gift shop anymore. You just exit, and I was really sad because I used to love that other little dinosaur statue. I have a bunch of selfies and pictures of them. I thought it was a cute gift shop as well. I always spent some time in there on my way out, so that was a little depressing and different that now you just exit and go back out where you came from. So it just doesn't feel like as much of a little adventure. But one last thing about Dinoland before I'll pass it on to my co-host, but I did a book club once that was like Main Street Book Club. They're great. If anyone wants to join, it's free. They have an Instagram. This is just a random promo shout out. They're awesome. And um we did a Dinoland reading session or like an Animal Kingdom reading session, and we were over by the restaurant there, which I know is still there, but they were playing like the Dinoland like music loop, and they have like the WDNO radio, and I'm just trying to read a book, and I keep hearing, "Hey everybody, thanks for listening to the radio show. Now this one goes out to my man Donald Duck," and then it'd be like, "Everybody walk the dinosaur," and I was like, just trying to read a book. And I had to change the book I was reading because I couldn't focus. And I'm pretty sure I probably got like 3 pages read. So I still had a great time with the book club. But all of us were kind of looking at each other like, what did we do picking Dinoland for a reading spot? We should have gone to like Avatar area or something like that, Pandora. But yeah, anyway, those are some of my fun memories. And I will certainly miss this area, that's for sure. Not that I'm sad about like what's coming. I think that's going to be incredible. I will probably eat my words, but these kind of memories are they mean a lot to me, and I'll miss it.
No, I get also I know exactly what you're talking about with the radio because it's so loud. The music back in Dinoland is so loud, and for what reason? There's no reason. I love it. I don't really have any memories with Primeval Whirl because I never went on it. I just remember the big plot of land that it left. Uh, I didn't do Triceratop spin either. I don't know why. I used to spend a lot of time just sitting back in Dinoland, so I don't know why. I just never did, but it looked really cute. I loved just like the theming of the area. It's just like so cute. It's so like I don't know the right word. It's not campy, but like it is. But it's like would like kitschy be the right word? Like yeah, like it's just so like I love it. It's so cute. I'm gonna miss the weird looking lights underneath the dinosaur as well. I have to point them out every time. Um, Also like all the billboards back there are like really pretty. I'm gonna miss those like a lot. And like that gift store, the like gas station one, oh my god, it was so cute and all like the little things in the ceiling. And I just saw a TikTok from JoJo. There's an old McDonald's poster in there because of the old partnership. And there's like the old Epcot logo. Like there's like a bunch of stuff like hidden in there. And it's just gonna be so sad. I also love those tables behind the gift shop when you're exiting Dinosaur by the statue. There's like some tables. That was always nice and like chill back there. I I wish I spent more time like playing the games and like doing all that, but honestly, $6 to play one game, I wasn't doing it. But then like it's just funny. Now it's funny now. It's just like not gonna be the same. And like that cut through to get to Everest, what are we gonna do without it? Like I have to walk all the way around the other side? No,
Hey,
no.
I didn't think about that.
Like, do we have to go the long way?
Yeah, because they're gonna have to take the big dinosaur statue down. I hope they do that first, and then they just put up construction walls. Because I don't want to. No, because they have a whole. No, geez, they're not
You
gonna
got the
be. Yeah,
walls
we're gonna have to
already.
walk the long way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Scares
No.
me.
And it's possible too that whole maybe they'll cut off that cut through because they're going to be building a whole new ride there. Like Indy is basically going to be the dinosaur track with Indiana Jones on it. Like that's the only way this timeline makes sense to close Dinosaur in 2026 and open Indy in 2027. We're talking about Disney timeline, guys. It's going to be pretty light on anything but theming. Whereas in Kanto, that's a whole new real estate to play with. It's a
Yeah,
whole big new ride.
I gotta
Um,
start like now. Oh,
yeah,
but you know what I loved seeing after the closure? The little band that they put out there. I think it's called
yeah.
Reduce, Reuse, Recycle, something. It's really cute. I love it. I did not know they were doing anything like that. And I stumbled across it on my TikTok, RIP, or maybe not. Who
Probably.
knows? Probably.
It is kind of funny in terms of the storyline that Dino-Rama was the first to go because I mean, they were there first, but then the Dino Institute opens and then they get big because they're opening this new tourist attraction that sends you back in time, and everything, and that gets people going there. But if you go through the boneyard and you look through Dino-Rama and you know, if you looked at all the decorations there, which I know people talk about, like with the Harry Potter lands, you could spend a whole day and they're looking at all the details and stuff. You could spend like half a day in Dinoland just getting all the story, and everything out of there. But it's funny that in this rivalry, the lowbrow, thorn in the side of the Dino Institute was the first to go. I do think that is fitting. I don't think Disney management meant to do that, to tell a full story of like this decades long battle between Chester, Hester, and the Institute. But I think with the Dino Institute winning at the end of the day, I think that's kind of funny, and kind of completes the arc, and I think that also helps the pain lessen too. It's not like there's no victor in this fight. It's like if you went through Dueling Dragons, Choose Thy Fate over at Halloween Horror Nights a few years ago, and then you went through the last time and both dragons won. That would be as bad as Merlin winning on your last run through, I think. So I'm glad that there is kind of that definitive end. Um, but as I was saying earlier, so I'll talk about my memories with Dino-Rama, which were recent and not very many, because that kitschy feel that y'all loved and that I have come to appreciate. It's not the greatest first impression. It's like, oh, Disney didn't even try, even though like Joe Rohde a few years back did a whole long Instagram post about like this is actually not real concrete. These cracks, every last bit about it was intentional for the idea to serve the story, and it's definitely easy to be um, cynical and be like, it's themed the way it is, so they didn't spend as much on a Beastly Kingdom land, and that's why Eisner greenlit it. Is they made it look cheap, so it was cheap for the man, for the CEO. Um, but there was so much detail there, and not even just like, well, no, look, they tried so hard, even though it doesn't look like it. They really did. I don't think that's good enough. But what you were saying too, Bella, with Dinosaur Treasures, with the gift shop, that huge gift shop, there's this really great detail, or was a really great detail. In like the one of the back corners of the store, and it's like a garage. It's the garage of this old house they used to have, and then the employee or the cast member, backstage entrances are themed to like guest houses, like guest rooms and such, which was a really neat um, detail. But on the wall was like local businesses and their numbers. It's like, hey, if you need a tire, go to so and so's. Here's the number, or here's the address and stuff. And that kind of stuff, I think, is why Dino-Rama was great for what it was. It was not a great first impression, but you would discover a lot, and that's true with the rest of the land. At Restaurantosaurus, um, I went with my friends, and we were just looking around at all the walls and everything. And you still have time. There is still time. Like I saw the TV glow. There is still time to go into Restaurantosaurus and just look at the walls, look at all the details. You got these giant paintings that apparently Joe Rohde did while he was waiting for a dinosaur or for Dinoland to get approved. He did these giant paintings while he was waiting for the phone call, and they're here in Restaurantosaurus, but you can see what the college students are doing, and everything is just retrofitted from like college student space to also for the tourists to come and eat as a dining hall and everything. Um, that kind of detail and storytelling was just all throughout Dinoland, and luckily we can still experience half of it. And the reason I talk about how much detail there was, just to like emphasize how much detail there was actually. We were looking around and we were looking at the walls, and then a cast member came up, and she's like, "Oh, I see that you all are kind of those like detail mind. You like the storytelling." Like, oh yeah, we love the storytelling. But that's, what we're here for. Kind of going to say our goodbyes because we didn't know that Restaurantosaurus, for example, was going to be open until 2026, or the beginning of 2026. She's like, let me take you on a tour. And we had like a whole impromptu 30-minute, 45-minute tour with this cast member host of Restaurantosaurus. Thank God for non-peak hours for lunch. And that was so cool. That was a great way to send off. I mean, granted, it was Restaurantosaurus, and that's staying, but that was just kind of like a cool experience and a memory that we got to have. And the cast member was so great, and we were finding details together in there. And the reason I bring up Restaurantosaurus and Dinosaur and all of that, because you can even find details in the Boneyard. I didn't see it myself. I need to go before that's gone. But my friends, they found out who the creator of the Time Rover was. They're not mentioned in Dinosaur. They are buried by the Dino Institute. So it seems like they created this proprietary technology. Now they got a contractor. And everything, and like it's so connected, it's so intertwined, and I hope that we don't lose that philosophy of storytelling. I know it's very easy to sit here and be like, well, that's just the Joe Rohde of it all. Joe Rohde is all with Animal Kingdom. That's such a cohesive park thematically, and you'd expect that in a land itself. Now I want to look at Africa and Asia and see if it's the same. I don't think it's just limited to Joe Rohde, but I do hope that especially as we go into Epic, that Dark Universe or Isle of Berk, they have this kind of interconnected storytelling between the attractions and throughout the land. Because I think if we're losing Dino Land, I hope this philosophy is not lost and this is just a relic of the past. It's extinct and everything. Um, yeah, that's my hope, is that we still have this interconnectedness and detail, and not just like, oh, this details from the movie. It looks great. Doesn't it look like the movie? We spent so much time to make it look like the movie. High Rise of the Resistance and telling a long plot heavy story. But what else is there to get? And I know I don't get a ton of that. Galaxy's Edge, for example, is just like a lot of icons and a lot of individual experiences. I don't know if it comes together the way something like Dino-Rama and the Institute and even Dino Bash, because you can say Chester and Hester contracted Disney out like Tokyo Disney Sea to bring them over to their side of the park and everything. That's at the end of the day what my love for Dino Land is as it's closing, even though it's very late. But also, it had little guys like this. I love the signs. Y'all said that earlier. The signs are great. Love Smilodon. I have a little one.
One that I didn't mention because it's not quite closing yet, but something that meant a lot to me is so my father-in-law absolutely loved trilobites, would laugh every single time he saw it because he was a marine biologist and he just thought it was like the funniest thing. And so anytime anyone would go to Disney without him, we would send it in the family group chat. He passed away a few years ago. We still send it in the family group chat every single time we go to Animal Kingdom, and we're like, oh, we miss him. Trilobites. He would have laughed. So like that, those are the kind of things, like there's just like things like that you just see it and you just have instant memories. Like that's the kind of stuff that's gonna really hurt to lose. I love the Smilodon sign, like all the signs, and it's just so creative and fun, and there's a lot of puns in this land, and yeah, it's gonna be sad to lose the atmosphere for sure. And I do love that storytelling. I really need to go to Animal Kingdom sometime and just try to figure out all the stories I can possibly connect in all of the areas. I think that would be fun.
In Africa, it's really fun reading all the posters by like that bathroom. There's a lot of really fun posters. There's stuff like talking about Festival of the Lion King, and like it's just there's so much everywhere. And like that whole market area is just so cool. Dak, I need to go to Dak more. I used to like only go to Animal Kingdom during the Carnival days. Another one, RIP, miss you. But like, there's just so much to like do. Well, maybe not, but like, there's so much to like look at and like Joe Rody, man. That's all I'll say about it.
Yeah, it
That's
really
all
is the
you
best theme park.
need to say.
Right now, I don't know if, I mean, do I prefer to go to Studios or Islands of Adventure or Epcot? Usually, but I think DAC is still so goated because, as I mentioned earlier, the thematic cohesion of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so good.
Now, Dinoland is going to be lost with the other greats like Kite Tales.
Mm-hmm.
And that Jungle Book show.
I never even saw Kite Tails.
I
I went
saw
to Animal Kingdom
videos.
late. I didn't go to Animal Kingdom until 2019. We're not counting when I was
Oh,
3.
Whoa. I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Oh, yeah. I went
Really?
on a. Yeah. I either went because of a cast member acquaintance or it was when. So the friend I went to the Galaxy's Edge with for the first time, and we ended up getting a comp ticket out of the virtual queue. Because if it broke down, which it did often, if it broke down and you didn't get to scan, they gave you a comp ticket for any park. And so that's how I
Mhm.
first experienced Animal Kingdom, I think. And yet I still didn't do Primeval World when it was open because I'm like, but Avatar, look at the this will be here for a while. Yeah, I mean, it's is it really all that great Primeval World? Let's go do Navi River Journey. And though I love the Navi River Journey, I look back, maybe I should have done I could have liked it. It
I
looks
like don't even remember what it looked like in there because it was so long ago.
Have you ever been on Cheetah Chase? Wait, what is it called now?
Oh,
oh, Cheetah Chase became the Sand Serpent. Sand Serpent's
Yeah.
closed. Now
Oh,
it's
that's right.
Phoenix Rising.
Okay, well, have you ever been on Cheetah Chase with a sand serpent? It's like that, but with kitschy dinosaurs, baby.
I
Just whips you
know.
around. It was so fun though, and there were all these like clock sound effects. It was really silly. It was like rough. Like it was not like
Oh, the
kind
rumors
to
were true.
you.
Okay.
Oh well, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a mouse trap. It's a mouse,
Wild
whatever.
Mouse.
but it was
Wild
so
mouse cut red.
fun.
Uh, like you said, it's with the greats of Kite Tail, Tarzan, the full version of Nemo,
Camp Mini
That one
Mickey.
still hurts.
Camp Mini Mickey. I
The
wish I got
Up
to
Show.
experience that. The up.
What is Dino Soup?
Yeah,
Oh, Dinosaur's the replica dinosaur. Not replica. Sorry, it's an actual fossil, I
the
think.
two. No,
Yeah.
it's the replica.
Oh, it is a
No, it's the
Oh.
replica.
real one. No,
It
it's a
cost them a
replica.
lot of money because McDonald's, Disney, and a third party had to come together. I think it was a third party. Might have just been McDonald's and Disney, but they went in together to buy the fossil or like
Oh.
loan out the fossil because McDonald's was the sponsor for at least Dinosaur. Might have been all of Dinoland. Which
Bring back McDonald's fry carts in Disney.
restaurants
I never
just
got
serve
to.
McDonald's.
I know. Bring it back.
Can I shout out something with Triceratops spin?
No. Yeah, of course.
So every time I looked at Triceratops spin, I'm like, that's just a spinner. I've done one, you've done them all. Um, Not so. And it's not just because there are Triceratops here. It's not just because it was themed to a top spinner, like the toy. But with Triceratops, it's a pun. Was a pun. Rest in peace. Um, I wouldn't have gotten on the first try. I had a lot of nerds tell me that. And the nerds are my friends. But um both rows, there's 2 rows, both rows could control your movement. So the front row, I believe, did the up and down, but the back row, you could tilt. It would change your tilt. And I think that's low key ingenious. Because Dumbo will always be the classic because there's no frills on it, just the magic of a flying elephant. Um, but like Magic Carpets of Aladdin, who wants to get randomly wet? Ah, Astro Orbiter. Who wants to get motion sickness because you're up too high in the air? Certainly not me. Who wants to get nice and cozy with the stranger on your lap? Not me. That's also a knock at Astro Orbiter. I have feelings. And One Fish, Two Fish, it's got a fun song. I'll give that one a pass. But Triceratop Spin, I think, it's got a fun song. But Triceratop Spin does not have a fun song. It had actually fun music. You got to hear the voices of Chester and Hester, a plus theming right there. Um, but it had that unique element of the tilting, and both sides being able to participate instead of just the one. Actually, I forgot to shout out King and Kodos Twirl and Hurl because that one is the worst at Simpsons.
Really?
It makes no. There's a game element and it makes no dang sense.
I think it's funny. I like it.
I think about
I've
it too
never
hard.
done
I
it.
think that's what it
I
is.
don't want anywhere I get wet. So those are automatically in the bottom for me. Sorry,
Fair
One
enough.
Fish, Two Fish. You're the worst.
You stayed dry on Triceratops Spin.
And then the worst part is they gaslight you. Well, I think Triceratops Spin was the best, but they gaslight you on One Two Fish, Two Fish because they're like, well, if you follow these rules, you won't get wet, and then you do.
You got to listen closely because before they go in the third verse, they're like it's opposite, or the second verse. One of them's opposite. Oh, that's what it is. The first verse is listen carefully. Second verse is do the opposite of what we say, and then the third verse is good luck, bon chance, bakwana, goodbye.
I don't like it. But Chester and Hester's Triceratops Spin was the goat. I do think that the tilting element was really cool. I think it's fun that everybody can participate. I just thought it was really nice. And then you're in Dinoland and you get to look at all the neatness of Dinoland. It was really cool when Primeval Whirl was open because you could watch everybody on that. But yeah, it's sad.
In the arms of the ages, fly away. That's all I got.
How do I hear what I hear?
I
Every
hate that
day,
song.
thousands of dogs and
Stop
cats are really sad.
I can't because anytime that commercial comes on, when I was a kid and even now, I'd have to run out of the room. I would literally have to leave the premises because I couldn't do it.
I like that you took your headphones off. I don't even know what she says. I was just saying words.
So send money to the Smilodons and Iguanodons now. They need a home.
I saw a really sad dog ad that was kind of like that today on Peacock. I said, on my TV,
Peacock.
yes!
Can I keep the Smilodons? They can live in my house.
Literally, I got a bed for them and they can stay right there.
If
They can
not
tuck
friend, why friend shaped? Why look like little kitty if I can't have? Oh, big
Right,
kitty.
right?
Big kitty.
Huge. Gargantuan.
That's a
I have
big
extra
feeling.
rooms. He can have the whole other half of the house.
Probably as big as your house.
He can have it.
He'd probably fit your whole. He'd probably like his arms would stick out of the windows like this.
But would he smile?
Yes.
Diego
Hey.
in Ice Age is a saber-toothed tiger at the beginning of the movie, but by the end, he is a Smilodon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hadn't thought about Ice Age in so long. Make an Ice
You
Age
do.
land. What are we even talking about?
Disney owns Ice Age now.
They need to get moving.
We're getting
We
Ice
don't
Age
want-
6 or 7.
We don't want the Indiana Jones ride. Make make it Ice Age, and you are the acorn sliding across the ice.
I think all that I have left to say about Dino-Rama is one, check out what's still left. And number two, if you want to know more of the backstory, if you want to know the behind the scenes and some of the Imagineer intentions, there's 2 books out there that you can still get used on Amazon. I think some libraries have it. If you don't like Amazon, I'm sure it's on like Abe Books or something. But that's the Imagineering Field Guide to Disney's Animal Kingdom. That's how I learned a lot of the story before going in here because my friend is such a fan of Imagineering and of the story of Animal Kingdom. And he tried to convince me a while ago how great Dinoland and its stories were. And I was like, but it's not immediately apparent, therefore it sucks. And here I am now. I'm a true believer. I'm a changed individual. But the Imagineering Field Guide to Disney's Animal Kingdom is one. And then I believe Joe Rohde's partner wrote The Making of Disney's Animal Kingdom Theme Park. That's a second book. That one I know for sure is like $15 on Amazon. But if you want to know some more of the storytellings, the trials, tribulations, joys, and whatnot that it took to put together Dinoland and Animal Kingdom, especially, or Animal Kingdom and Dinoland, especially, check out those two books. I hear they're great. I haven't read them myself, but everyone talks about, they reference them all the time. So good to have that instead of just like doing hearsay.
So, as we just talked about, Dinoland, specifically Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama, is no longer in existence. It's the first wave of the closures in Dinoland, and it's going to be really sad the more we go throughout the year. But we don't have a date or time frame of when these next few places are closing. So please go see it, ride Dinosaur a million times, steal an iguanodon, like, do your thing. Go to Trilobites. You can go ride Dinosaur, go to Dino Zoo, Cretaceous Trail, Restaurantosaurus. I know that they have a guy with a guitar walking around sometimes. That's really cool. Trilobites and the Boneyard, which is like the play area, which is really cute. I haven't walked through it, but it looks cute from the outside.
There's more.
There's more.
Lore. There's lore. There's more
lore.
lore in the Boneyard.
There's more. You missed some. Which, by the way, if you haven't had the buffalo chicken chips at Trilobites, they are delicious. Perhaps don't try them now because you might be addicted to them and be sad, but also go try them. They're very good. I have a friend who will probably chain herself to Trilobites because of those delicious buffalo chicken chips. So that's something fun to try if you haven't.
Those sound good. I need to go try those, actually. Might be a mistake, though, since it'll, like you said. Maybe I'll go, though. But anyway, yeah, that was it. Goodbye, Dinoland, Chester and Hester's. We'll miss you. Excited to see the future, but it's still very sad. Very sad. But anyway, Kelly, where can the people find you on the socials of the media?
Well, speaking of the future, you may or may not be able to find us on TikTok at Theme Park Workshop, but you can find us on Instagram at Theme Park Workshop. I run the Instagram, so go ahead and say hello. You can also find me on Instagram. It's kels.hoff, Kels with an S, and you can also find me at Twitter at killer_Kels, I think. Pretty sure that's it.
Yes. Adam, where can the people find you?
I did some changes, so you can follow me at Adam from TPW, wherever it counts. So, how about that? You can also join me on the escapades over at the Patreon, as we mentioned before. Bonus episodes, early episodes, and more. So, love to have you there.
Period. And then you can find me over on Instagram at Flynn Rider's Nose, on Twitter at Bella Harvey with 2 Y's, and then the Theme Park Workshop Twitter, which is Workshop TP. She will be making a comeback. I promise. It will. I swear. This will be the one to bring it back. Mark my words. But, yeah, go find us there. Thank you to our patrons. Thank you, Dinoland. Good night, sweet child. We'll miss you forever and ever.
And we'll make sure to properly mourn Dinosaur when that closes.
Yeah.
That deserves its own episode, really.
Yeah, we're gonna have like a candlelight service, like.
We're gonna invite Neil Patrick Harris to do a reading.
Yes, we will. Mark it. Put in your calendars. Whenever. Just looming over the end of 2025, beginning of 26. Period. Well, bye.